Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nadia. I would like to present it regarding the biosecurity law, which is delivered by the Dr. Nuraini Nadhirah, which is this topic I like the most. Okay, first, she has explained regarding the biosecurity and biosafety. What is biosecurity and what is biosafety? Biosecurity regarding the unintentional release, and while for the biosafety regarding the intentional release. And what about the biosecurity law? Okay, biosecurity law is regarding the protection, control, and accountability for biological materials within the laboratory, while the biosecurity law regarding the all measures that prevent accidentally exposure of biological agents. So, this means that biosecurity law or biosafety and biosafety law is very important to control the release of biological agents or materials, which is to protect the human and also the environment. Okay, now I would like to explain regarding the biotechnology versus modern biotechnology. What is biotechnology? Biotechnology is the process of using microbiology and other biological agents to make various products that are required by humans. There's two, which is conventional biotechnology and modern biotechnology. Conventional biotechnology is the traditional biotechnology, which use the traditional techniques of using living organisms to yield new products of modified foods to other useful products that human can use. For instance, they use a microorganism for producing alcohol, acetic acid, sugar, and foodstuff like tempeh. And also the other product, they use the natural regeneration and also the cultivation methods and the natural breeding. So, for example, that use the conventional biotechnology is cheese, yogurt, and tempeh. And now we move on to the modern biotechnology. With the recent development of the science, they utilize the scientific principle to the modern to the biotechnology, which is we use in modern biotechnology, such as cell fusions, transformation, conjugation or agro-infection, and also they do the vitro manipulation of DNA and RNA that can make create the new product. Like for instance, the dolly sheep, and also the LMO product, GMO product, and also the bags. Okay, next, everything has pros and cons, and also they happen in the modern biotechnology, where there is the risks and benefits of modern biotechnology. First, I will talk regarding the benefit. First, there are better trace of food with the modern biotechnology, as with the modern biotechnology, the food is more bigger and more last longer. Then they use less pesticide on the modern biotechnology plants, as that plant are more stronger than the conventional biotechnology plant. Okay, then with the modern biotechnology, we can produce more food to feed the world. Okay, next I will explain regarding the risks of the modern biotechnology. Okay, firstly regarding the uncertain science, where when we use the modern biotechnology, there is modified to the DNA of the food, which will lead to the uncertain side effect or effect and dangerous on human health and environment. And also this was also being the challenge to the nation, also to the most developed nation, as to the tools that require in the modern biotechnology is more expensive, and the product that created also expensive, as the tools or to make such product use a lot of money. Okay, last, due to the modern biotechnology, as there is a modifier of food and products, so there is a law to protect or to control such modern biotechnology. So there is importance of biosecurity law. For instance, such in the Cartagena Protocol, which is this protocol aims to ensure the safe handling, transportation, and use of living modified organism (LMO) emerging from modern biology that may have negative consequences of biological diversity as well as human health risk. Which is with this protocol that assure the safe handling, the use of such LMO or transportation of such LMO in the modern biotechnology, which with the use of modern biology, there is a negative consequence which can lead which can affect to the human health and also the environment. So there is a law to do so. Okay, and then that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Aini. For this presentation, I would like to share to you guys the topic that I personally interested with, which is maritime security and law enforcement, delivered by Dr. Suwaimun. What I have learned from this lecture is there are two types of maritime threats, which are conventional threats and contemporary threats. As we are living in this era, it involves contemporary threats such as piracy, maritime terrorism, trafficking of people and narcotic drugs and other illicit goods, illegal fishing, and so on. As we can see from these kind of threats, it gives a bad impact towards the maritime security, especially to the safety of ships, the crews, and also to the ports of coastal states. Next, I would like to highlight an interesting point in this lecture regarding the issue of the threat of damage to marine environment, because as we all know, not only the fish will be affected by the marine pollution, it also affected us, human, because we use the water every day. Thus, how can we just sit and keep quiet to this problem? If we cannot overcome this problem now, I am pretty sure that the future generation will get the worst impact compared to nowadays. Furthermore, the most important part that I got from this lecture is maritime law enforcement. This point is very crucial because it involves the state and international jurisdiction. Nevertheless, the most important thing is there must be an enforcement body in order to make the rules and regulations becomes more effective. Since I am Malaysian, I just found out that Malaysia has a Coast Guard as an integrated maritime law agency in Malaysia that maintaining the law and order and also coordinating search and rescue operations in the Malaysian maritime zone and on the high seas. We call it as MMEA, Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency. For me, it is good to have that agency, but again, the important thing is how can we make this enforcement body to be an effective body. Thus, it is better to strengthen the enforcement body at the state level first and then make a better move to the international level. Last but not least, I hope this small sharing can benefit all of you guys. Thank you for giving this opportunity. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I would like to discuss the topic of competition law in Malaysia that has been delivered by Dr. Haliza Abdul Shukor from USIM. So I am interested in discussing this topic because it is something new that I learned from her lecture. So Dr. Haliza has divided this topic into 4 parts, which is overview of competition law, secondly competition law in ASEAN, followed by competition law in Malaysia, and lastly competition law and intellectual property. So the objective of competition law is concerning about the practice that brings harm to competitive process, and it aims to provide protection to consumer. So in Malaysia, there is a Competition Act 2010 that aims to promote economic development, protecting interests of consumers, and promote fair competition. As I said before, Competition Act 2010 governs the competitive process in Malaysia. So it came into force in January 2012. MyCC is an independent corporate body established in order to enforce the provision of Competitive Act 2010, and it performs duties as provided under the Competition Commission Act 2010. So, talking about competition law, it also related to intellectual property. Therefore, there are several challenges of the implementation of intellectual property that need to be overcome to implement these two. So the first one is the relevant intellectual property law that have to be amended, and the second one, the effectiveness of the intellectual property guideline is not tested, and lastly, some provisions in Competition Act 2010 need to be amended. So that's all from us. Thank you.